Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be doing a video about GameStop. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investor journey together. Today we're doing a video about GameStop. Do I think GameStop stock will squeeze again? And if it does squeeze, what stock price do I think it'll actually go to? So let's take a look at the one-year chart together here. So if we definitely see, GameStop was trading around $4 a share for the longest time. Once Mr. Cohen announced that he was taking a stake, we see here around October that it took a big hike up in its overall stock price. And we definitely see here on January 27th, 2021, GameStop had this huge climb up. Obviously, because a lot of Reddit traders, started pushing the price up altogether, and GameStop stock was rallying very quickly, made it all the way to about $458, and then it slowly started to sink back down, only due to the simple fact that a lot of brokerages limited trading on stocks like GameStop. If we take a look at it, if you guys we can look back together. It was like Webull, Robinhood, TD Ameritrade basically did not give you the option to buy stock in GameStop. It only allowed you to sell, which did cause a huge crash in the overall stock. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about why I think GameStop stock is actually going to squeeze again. Obviously, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion. But let's dive in and let's talk about why I think GameStop stock is going to go through another short squeeze. So if we take a look at the numbers here, right now the short volume ratio on GameStop is 26%, short volume being about 8 million shares. And if we take a look at that, that's a lot of shares that are actually being shorted on GameStop as we speak. Obviously, when GameStop hit that $458 mark, there was a lot of people out there who started new short positions in the stock because they probably thought that GameStop in itself was never going to re-hit those prices ever again. So for GameStop to have to go through another short squeeze, it's going to have to go a little bit higher. If we take a look at the 1 month chart here, GameStop was around 265, 260. It wasn't enough to push the stock through a short squeeze. It was not enough to keep pushing the stock upward. But if GameStop wants to go through another short squeeze, it's going to have to enter the $300 level mark. And I think eventually GameStop will go through another short squeeze. The reason I say this is because, you can never really tell with stocks like GameStop. I mean, if you guys take a look at it, GameStop can climb, 30, 40, 50% in a single day. So it's not like the stock in itself climbs up 5% every time it goes on this massive rally. It's very volatile and it can go up and down in large amounts. So I don't want people to ever be discouraged if they're still holding GameStop. But for those people who bought it early, they're probably just kind of waiting it out. If they bought it at $5, $10, $15, even $30, $40 a share, currently sitting at $191.50, you're probably still up a very good amount. But a lot of people still holding GameStop thinking, okay, is it going to go through another short squeeze? Is it possible for GameStop to go through another short squeeze? And if it does, what's the overall stock price going to go to? So for me, like I said, right circumstance, right condition, I do think GameStop is going to go through another short squeeze. I do think that the stock is not done just yet. And now that it has a lot more media attention, it's not going to stop GameStop from basically having to go through all the hassle to get media attention. If GameStop rallies 20, 30, 40%, it's the first thing that's on the news. People start talking about GameStop again. Like I said, there's still a lot of people who are invested in GameStop. And like I said, the stock still has a decent amount of short flow. But under the right circumstance, the stock just had to be pushed up high enough for people to actually have to cover their short positions. Obviously, the first time around, there was a lot of people out there who lost a lot of money. And so if GameStop stock actually does squeeze again, I know that the squeeze is going to be bigger than the first time. The reason I say this is because since people started short positions at a much higher stock price, they have to cover larger amount of shares at a higher price, which is going to drive the stock upward. Like I said, it has about 8 million shares right now that are being shorted. So if GameStop stock can actually run to the $400 mark, 350, 450, people might be starting to get scared, and that's when they're going to want to have to cover their short positions altogether. But if we take a look at it, if GameStop stock does actually squeeze, then what would the price actually go to? Obviously, for me, everyone should know this, that if GameStop stock does squeeze, it's easy to tell that, okay, it's going to be a lot higher than the last time. For me, if GameStop stock does go through another short squeeze, which I personally think it will, I think the stock is going to hit about $700 to $900, maybe even potentially $1,000. And I know a lot of people think that's absurd or this just clickbait, but you guys, if you truly understand of how it actually works, like I said, these people are not covering 20, 30, 40 shares of GameStop. They have to cover hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of shares all at one time. And like I said, if you guys don't know what shorting actually is, it's basically when people will sell a certain amount of shares at a specific price and then pay it back at a lower price and then collect the difference as premium. It's a pretty good trading strategy, but it's also one that's very, very risky because the upside is theoretically infinite. As GameStop continues to expand into the digital age, it's trying to innovate, trying to get rid of its brick and mortar stores, and kind of, like I said, trying to take a more just innovative approach to its overall business. You know, I think GameStop stock is still going to be around for a long time. I still think GameStop is still going to be around for a long time. I don't know if its overall value right now is justified, but, you know, obviously we see here, if we take a look at the 1 week chart or even the 1 month chart or even the 3 month chart, you know what I mean? The stock is not going down. You know, no one is selling GameStop, and there's probably reasons for this because people probably know that the stock is not done, not only growing, but overall, like I said, you know, a lot of people out there who have been trading for a while probably know that, okay, you know, the GameStop short squeeze is probably not over just yet, and people who have been trading for a long time know that, okay, you know, a short squeeze can happen at any time. You cannot really predict it. You know, for me, it could be this year, it could be next year, and that's the thing about a short squeeze. Like I said, it's not a predictable thing. You have to sit there and kind of wait it out, see what happens, but that's the beauty of it. It can happen at any moment. I remember before GameStop squeezed the first time, people were talking about GameStop short squeeze for such a long time, probably years before the stock actually went through a short squeeze. But like you guys can see, as I showed on the charts, you know, no one's really selling GameStop because either they're optimistic about the stock or they're overall optimistic that the stock is going to go through another short squeeze. Right now, it's heading pretty stable. There's not really much news. Market's not really doing that well, so it's not really giving it an opportunity for GameStop to kind of like innovate or basically go up. Yes, we did have the S&P 500 just hit 4,000, which is just absolutely amazing. You know, that's a great milestone, especially in the state of a pandemic. But that doesn't really reflect on GameStop's overall share price. Like I said, if GameStop wants to see those surfacing highs once again, it has to be put in a position to where GameStop stock can actually rally large amounts at a single time, whether it be a buyout, whether it be more people putting more money into it, an analyst upgrade, something that pushes the stock higher. But if anyone invested in GameStop a year ago, you know, you're up 5,774% on your overall investment, which is still pretty good. You know, that's better than any return that most stocks will give you nowadays anyway. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are truly holding GameStop because they're just generally bullish on the stock. There's nothing wrong with that. I think GameStop is still a very good company. I don't think GameStop is going to go anywhere. I think that Ryan Cohen taking a stake in the company and trying to really digitally innovate GameStop as a company was a very smart idea because it's definitely going to save it. The brick and mortar stores is kind of getting outdated, and although I think they will keep a few open, obviously the state of the pandemic didn't help that situation either. You know, there's people out there who just generally like to go to the store and buy the game they want and then go home. But as GameStop digitally innovates, I know that GameStop is probably going to be around for a very long time. Gaming is getting more and more popular, and it's something that's never going to go away, which could make GameStop a decent stock to hold in the long term as well, aside from the overall short squeeze. With that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of GameStop. Do you guys think GameStop stock will go through a short squeeze? If GameStop stock does go through another short squeeze, what do you guys think the stock price is going to go to? I'm very curious to know. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.